You've got to bet on you. You believe in everybody else. You clap for everybody else. You support everybody else. You baking cakes and making cookies for everybody else. But when are you going to look in the mirror and believe in the darn person you see?
Exactly. What are you going to do?
You to believe in you. Because
what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. What's up, everybody? And this is the Every Rep Counts podcast. I am your host, Marvin Sanders, here with raw, uncut, and helpful information for all things athletics. Now, I have some serious information for you right now that I just heard about that's now blowing up on all the social channels, on all social media, and I'm sure you've heard about it too, but I find this story very concerning, but also very important to highlight regarding the safety and security of our student athletes. Not sure if you heard of it, but a multisport athlete stabbed to death at Frisco, Texas track meet. So, if any of you guys heard about this, this has been blowing up on the news, this has been blowing up on social channels right now. I want you to take a good look at this article. The article you can find all over ESPN, SportsCenter, what have you. But this is a fascinating story. A high school track athlete died tragically at the track meet Wednesday morning after he was stabbed by a fellow student. Police were called to David Kuykendall Stadium in Frisco, Texas, around 10 in the morning, responding to reports of an altercation between two students. The victim, 17-year-old Austin Metcalf, was a junior at Memorial High School who competed in track and football. First responders attempted life-saving measures, but he was pronounced dead as the result of his injuries. The assailant, however, 17-year-old Carmelo Anthony, go figure, Carmelo Anthony, just inducted or just named as a first ballot Hall of Famer. Now, through algorithms, his name, although it's spelled differently, his name will now be submerged with this story. 17-year-old Carmelo Anthony was arrested on Wednesday afternoon. He is facing charges for murder and, according to the Dallas Morning News, has no set bail. In Texas, murder is a first-degree felony punishable with life in prison or confinement for 5 to 99 years. Wednesday's track meet was a busy scene as 8 schools were competing in the District 11 5A meet when the incident occurred. In all the chaos, many were left wondering what could have caused the brutal attack. Metcalf's father told NBC News his son was killed when another student armed with a knife got upset after being told he was in the wrong spot. Strange. His son didn't know the student who attacked him. According to Metcalf's father, Austin's twin brother Hunter was nearby when the confrontation took place and not only saw his brother get stabbed, but tried to stop the bleeding. The police, however, have not made an official statement whether or where or how stabbing took place. They investigated the area around the stands and near the track. Authorities cleared the stadium quickly and secured the area following the attack. And despite the lack of communication from police, Metcalf's father is insistent. He brought a knife to a track meet and he murdered my son by stabbing him in the heart. The guy was in the wrong place and they asked him to move and he bowed up. This is murder. The Frisco Independent School District released a statement sharing the Metcalf family's grief and providing information to students' own grief counselors who will be present on campus to support anyone who needs it. Okay. I have a lot to detangle, per se, but I want to start from the top. As a current athletic director, I see a lot of gaps here. Now, as athletic administrators, one of the most one of the most difficult events to try and manage from a safety and security standpoint is track and field. For instance, our high school team rather, has almost 100 kids plus or minus. Our junior high has around 50. So total, you're looking at 150, 160. Some high schools, for instance, depending on the higher section you go, there's about 200 plus kids that you're dealing with. And that's in Pennsylvania. So imagine how many kids or student athletes are on a track and field team in Texas. It's a lot of people. So we have to understand the magnitude of this situation here. You have a Texas program, I'm sure, in whether it's a dual meet, meaning, one team against another, or if it's an invitational or tri meet where there's 3 teams all at once, there's commotion everywhere. If you participated in track, you know what I'm talking about. For me, I participated in a lot of field events as well as, running events. So from anywhere from the 100, 200, did the 4x1, did long jump, triple jump, jav, shot. So when you're in a track and field setting, it's essentially, what events you have to run. The announcer will announce on the call sheet when certain events are happening. You have, 1 call, 2 call, 3 call, first call, second call, third call. Third call is typically final call before the event starts. But during this time, you have kids going everywhere. You have kids going to the bathroom. You have kids going to get something to eat. You have kids warming up. You have kids on the grass. You have kids across the track. You have kids, all long distance runners, going out off the campus, off of the facility, running around the facility, sometimes off campus, to do their warm up. There's a lot of things happening during this time. So imagine in Texas, you have a fairly large program. Just imagine how many student athletes are in this area, which tells me from an athletic administrative standpoint, you have to be on guard. Now, again, track and field meets are at least invasive in comparison to football, in comparison to basketball. But I think that is an area for us that we should improve upon too, where we have to understand the severity in any athletic event that we host, right? So for me, I see, number one, that if for a child to strike another child with a weapon in a public area, something is wrong here. That tells me that something's wrong. That also tells me, like I mentioned, that there was a lack of safety and security measures. Yes, from a safety and security measure, you always have to have an emergency action plan. But that's for a different realm of issues per se. You have to have your severe weather plans, which is a part of the emergency action plan. You also have to have your health and safety plan in regards to if there's any danger, if somebody, has a heart attack or something, you have your AED planning. But when you're dealing with 2 people who's in a somewhat of a public setting, but maybe they're on the bleachers, it is very easy for anyone to come in there with a weapon. Even if you have a full-fledged security team, the ratio is still going to be a disadvantage to the security team because you have about 200 to 300 kids and at tops 30 security personnel, let's just say. But at the same time, that didn't happen. So, 2, safety and security issue. 2, how would you have known that this was going to happen. These are like sporadic situations. The only people who could have known that this could have been an issue were maybe friends or associates of one another. Again, in the article, it made no claim that they knew one another. So you can't assume that, maybe, mutual friends knew each other or they were beefing. And then all of a sudden, one of the kids, the assailant, saw, the victim and wanted to prove a point at the time. Who knows? Or the assailant just wanted someone to start with them, Either way, this is a diabolical situation. And the assailant, Carmelo Anthony, is in a bad position. I don't know what in the world was in his mind during this time. I have no clue what was going on. Anybody, who knows that this kid, what was it? This kid, Austin Metcalf, is at the wrong place at the wrong time. Like, it's insane, with what's happening right now. You can't blame the host school because they were just doing what they typically do, because track meets are the least invasive, sport. Track and field is typically a sport that, all the athletes go back to at the end of the season, or as the end of the year approaches, to, work on their conditioning, to work on their sustainability of their physique, and to ride out the last bit of the season in a positive setting to prep for the fall season. So it is just a travesty. It is an utter shame that this student athlete, Austin Metcalf, passed away because of an emotional outrage that was predicated on being in the same seating area as the assailant. And because of that, instead of asking politely to move so I can sit in my spot, you decide that it was okay to go from 0 to 100 and attack this student athlete and cause death. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Because my seat was taken, I'm going to kill a student athlete. Now, I'm not going to discuss, the factors, whether it's psychologically speaking, emotionally speaking, what could have, what the livelihood of the child, of the student athlete, of what could have gone on in his mind, Carmelo Anthony, what could have gone through his mind or his living situation. I'm not going to go into that right now. But what I am going to say is what was done here is a sheer sign of just utter diabolic behavior that now has resulted in a felony punishable with life in prison or confinement for 5 to 99 years. For 5 to 99 years. So what I want to say in closing to this is, Austin Metcalf, I'm sure you are in a spiritual place. What was done is upsetting. What was done shouldn't have happened. To the parents of Austin Metcalf, we want to send our condolences and prayers to you. We want to make sure and let you know that this story has touched so many people, and those who are empathetic and are empathetic about this, we want to say that we're here with you. And in the event that you may need anything, I'm sure that all of us who have been touched by this story are here to support you. To Carmelo Anthony, I am not perfect. As a child, I have done childish things. But as I've grown to be a man, I've placed my childish things aside. During this time in your life, you will come upon more roadblocks, more situations where you may want to take A or take B. I'm not sure what was in your mind during this time that you did an unspeakable act out of outrage and out of emotional outrage and an emotional and had discontentment for and had an emotional outrage for. But you can never come back from this situation. You cannot turn what you did back. Because of which, you have now put yourself in a position that will be very difficult to get out of. And yes, at the end of the day, I will pray for you too. I will pray for your family. I will continue to pray for you as you go through this journey in your life. It's unfortunate that you now have to potentially spend 5 to 99 years of your life in prison for an act that lasted about 5 to 10 minutes. And those 5 to 10 minutes have now garnered 5 to 99 years. Let that sink in. To the parents of Carmelo Anthony, just as the parents of Austin Metcalf, we will be praying for you. This is not your fault. We will continue to support you in this journey as well, because as parents, God can only know how you feel. And I hope and I continue to pray that you have the strength during this time that you're going through. All that to say, this should be a learning lesson to all of us. Us as athletic administrators, us as parents, and us as student athletes. Interscholastic athletics is predicated on the education-based concept. We teach from a holistic standpoint, not only academics, but we translate what we find within this foundation through exertion of energy, teamwork, camaraderie, unity, taking the perseverance, taking the leap of faith. We use this tool to grow as holistic men and women of the future. Let's use this story as a learning lesson to become better professionals, to become better parents, to become better student athletes, because at the end of the day, our students matter, We matter. And we need to be very cognizant of the holistic value of interscholastic athletics. So at the end of the day, remember, in everything that you do in life, you want to turn moments into mastery, one rep at a time. Take care.